According to producer John Landau, the production team behind Avatar: The Way of Water is already planning Avatar 4. Landau claims that the first act of Avatar 4 has already been filmed. Also, after James Cameron presented the script of Avatar 4 to studio executives, he got 0 notes. This is unlike the scripts of Avatar: The Way of Water and Avatar 3. Keep watching for details on these. What was the true reason for the extremely long delay of Avatar? The release of Avatar: The Way of Water was notoriously delayed. The follow-up to his 2009 blockbuster, Avatar, was first teased by writer-director James Cameron in 2010, with plans to release it in 2014, and then follow it with a third Avatar film in 2015. Cameron would constantly announce additional delays as the new release date drew near, pushing back the releases by a year or more, and all that schedule switching occurred before the COVID-19 epidemic halted filming, leading to protracted film delays and regular scheduled adjustments. The explanations offered for the delays were frequently ambiguous. Cameron has discussed the logistical and technical issues in producing numerous films simultaneously, particularly in light of the news that Avatar 3 would be followed by 2 additional sequels for 5 films. Early behind-the-scenes footage of the making of Avatar: The Way of Water also reveals the difficulties of the production, which are very high. But according to John Landau, producer of Avatar and Avatar: The Way of Water, the challenges of bringing the aquatic Na'vi and their intricate whale buddies to life weren't the main reason for the production and release delays. Landau stated that they did not need to wait here because of technology. He believes that the first Avatar demonstrated to them that they had the power to drive technology in the direction it needed to go. He claims that the reason for the delays was that the production crew was determined to complete writing and finalizing the scripts for all 4 anticipated Avatar sequels before Avatar 2 was even put into production. According to him, the goal of the endeavor was to tell the right story. He stated that without a blueprint to work from, one could not possibly build a house. The blueprints are the scripts. They therefore wanted to wait till all 4 of them were present. Will the rest of James Cameron's career consist solely of Avatar films? James Cameron has been concentrating completely on the Avatar franchise for well over a decade when it comes to his directorial output. Avatar: The Way of Water and Avatar 3 are 2 of the 4 sequels that director James Cameron has shot in full in the 13 years since the first Avatar hit theaters and became the highest-grossing movie of all time. Avatar 4 has also had some of its scenes shot. If all goes according to plan for Cameron's franchise, Avatar 4 will wrap up filming and Avatar 5 will be entirely filmed. To put it simply, it's entirely likely that the 68-year-old Cameron may limit the rest of his career to directing Avatar films. Not that Cameron has a problem with that. In a lengthy Q&A with other filmmakers for Empire magazine, Cameron stated that he felt that the Avatar franchise was not depriving him of fresh ideas because there were enough plots and technological advancements for him to explore. S.S. Rajamouli, who directed RRR, said to Cameron that he is confident Cameron will have many more stories and ideas that he wants to share. He then asked if Cameron was ever sorry that he couldn't tell them because of all the work on Avatar. Cameron responded to Rajamouli, saying that there are 2 thoughts to answer the question. The first is that the Avatar world is so expansive that he can tell most of the stories he wants to tell within it and try many of the creative elements he desires to explore. Furthermore, he stated that time as an artist is limited. He'll always be sad about some of the stories he won't get to make. Cameron said that he feels a wonderful satisfaction when other filmmakers desire to explore some of his ideas, like Catherine Bigelow did with Strange Days, and Robert Rodriguez did when he handed him the reins for Alita: Battle Angel. He anticipates working with filmmakers he respects more in the future. Cameron had long intended to helm Alita: Battle Angel, but in order to work on the Avatar sequels, he gave the job to Robert Rodriguez. Throughout filming and post-production, Cameron continued to be an executive producer on Alita and was actively involved creatively. If Avatar remains Cameron's top focus, it seems he may use a similar strategy with other film concepts he has. Cameron acknowledged having further film ideas earlier this year. He even mentioned the possibility of handing off some of the Avatar movies to other filmmakers so that he may move on to lead another film. The Avatar movies themselves are quite engrossing, as Cameron recently admitted to Empire. He stated that he is working on some other intriguing projects as well. He believes that after a while, he's not sure if it will be after 3 or after 4 Avatar sequels. He'll want to hand the reins over to a director he trusts so that he can pursue other interests, or perhaps not. He's not sure. James Cameron stated that Avatar 4 script got 0 studio notes. Avatar: The Way of Water was to follow in the footsteps of an original project that lit up the global box office during its theatrical run, so it had enormous shoes to fill, with nearly $2 billion in global box office receipts. James Cameron's Avatar is the highest-grossing movie of all time. Naturally, the sequel and others that will follow are subject to enormous expectations, but Cameron is adamant that his work is improving, and the studio appears to concur. Cameron stated that the Avatar 4 script is and absolutely astounded studio executives during an interview with Collider. Following the submission of his scripts for Avatar 3 and Avatar: The Way of Water, Cameron reported receiving remarks, but something that's difficult to ignore has been triggered by the fourth film. The studio executive and creative executive in charge of the films wrote him an email that stated, "Holy f***." According to Cameron, he then asked where the notes were. She responded, saying those are the notes. Because, it kinda goes bananas in a good way. Before The Way of Water had started production, Cameron finished writing the scripts for all 4 of the Avatar sequels that were initially intended. He told Collider that Peter Jackson's The Lord of the Rings trilogy served as a model for his approach. Jackson had all 3 Rings films written and shot all at once, which was a wild bet at the time. According to Cameron, they seized the opportunity to release all 3 of those movies. The actors could always be shown what they needed to know about their character development because he had the book's plots laid out, so he felt compelled to follow suit. He had to act as though the books were already written. Therefore, the only way they could accomplish that was to write all of the scripts and give them to the actors, so they could read them and understand the meaning behind their characters' actions. Although it may not be feasible at the time, he believed the performers may incorporate it into their character preparation. Following a 13-year break between the sequel and the 2009 original picture, Avatar: The Way of Water's box office performance will have a significant impact on the future of the subsequent sequels. Although Cameron acknowledged that producing the movie was an expensive venture, the overall budget for the movie has been kept mostly a secret. To break even, Avatar: The Way of Water needs to be the 3rd or 4th highest grossing movie of all time. Despite how difficult the process is, Cameron is determined to finish building Pandora. Cameron expresses optimism for a 4th installment and suggests that an Avatar 4 goes above and beyond what viewers could anticipate. Cameron said, "You think you know what it's about, and then you don't." The producer of Avatar: The Way of Water discloses why he's already shot the opening of the film's 4th installation. The first sequel in the Avatar series is called Avatar: The Way of Water. James Cameron has previously said that he may be able to produce up to 5 more Avatar sequels. Cameron stated that if Avatar: The Way of Water does not succeed, the Avatar sequels won't be made, and Avatar 3 will be the series' last installment. At the Los Angeles premiere of Avatar 2, Landau spoke with Deadline and confirmed that the 3rd Avatar had already been shot. He added that the first act of Avatar 4 has been already shot for logistical purposes. In light of Landau's claim, this is because in Avatar 4, there will be a time jump, and it was necessary to film the young actors when they were still the correct age. With Landau's latest remarks and Cameron's earlier remarks about Avatar 3 possibly being the series finale, the series' future looks promising. It appears that the studio is placing a lot of faith in the project, even though Avatar: The Way of Water needs to be the 4th or 5th highest grossing movie of all time just to break even. It costs a lot of money to make an Avatar movie, so it's risky to film the first act in its entirety before knowing how the franchise will develop. Details of Cameron's abandoned Avatar sequel script, Avatar: The High Ground, have previously been made public. He cited several scenes from that movie, including a genuinely amazing battle sequence, as ones he was most pleased with. Despite this, he observed that the script simply didn't push the envelope far enough for him, and didn't have the right level of spirituality. Future movies might use some of that context that was discarded. Astonishingly, Cameron is committed to shooting the entire first act after trashing a complete script. On the other hand, Cameron has already used the fact that there are many stories to serve as justification for Avatar: The Way of Water's lengthy running duration. He might have more of the plot planned out than people would think. And with that, that's a wrap for today's video. Did you enjoy the first Avatar sequel? And are you also anticipating future sequels? What else would you like to know regarding the Avatar sequels? Let us know in the comment section. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.